Wonderful people. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And bless you for being with us again today. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. And we're so blessed by your presence. Yes. And we appreciate you. Yes, yes, we do. We do. Definitely appreciate you. And each and every one of you. Thank you. And momentarily we'll be with you in a minute. Yes. And this is seemed to be like, oh, almost the last week. It is next to the last week of Black History Month, and we have so much to be thankful for as far as the participation of the culture and the people that helped build this great American country. And yet and still, there's so much to be done. Yes, but in the meantime, we continue to do what we have to do, what we're supposed to do, and yet and still, it's all good. Yes, thank you. So, that in mind, we want to bring forth our cast today. Thank you again, again, and again. And it's beginning to be a lot like spring. March is right around the corner. The March wind, eyes of March. Yes, coming on. Bring it. February is all is history, and I'm so glad. But you know what? Every day is a good day. Every day is a wonderful day. Every day is a blessed day. So what we gonna do? What we gonna do? We have to do what we have to do what we're supposed to do, and keep it moving. Yes, keep it moving. And when we're keeping it moving, ah, that's one good thing about life. And they said life is full of peaches and cream, honeysuckles, daffodils, and the and how you say crocuses on the morrow, all that good stuff. Even though I wasn't there, but that's okay too. And so glad that you're here with us again today. And let's get into the subject matter today, talking about love and betrayal. Yes, so many times we find out that we see that our spouse is cheating on us, but then we look around and find out, why did we get into this situation? What is going on? And we look around and say that, okay, so many times we get into a situation not intentionally or even intentionally, but not knowing, not having the experience, not having the information, and then not having the right intention as far as what we're doing. So we say that, well, okay, we love each other. Start off, because I hear so many stories about at first we loved each other, we were there for each other, we did this, we did that, and then not even a year, a year, we started drifting apart. Well, what happened? What happened? So I'm just going to encourage each one of you, and I don't like to promote different items or different venues, but if it's shoe fit you, go for it. And one of the shoes that fits is going to divorce court. Yes, we can go to divorce court and we see so much that is happening. And then we say, wow, how did that come about? Yes, now I get the music. That's all right. Then. Well, anyway, wonderful people. So we'll extra music today tonight. So what else can go wrong? A lot of things can go wrong. Everything can break down. That's what life is all about. Expect the unexpected. And that's what happens even in the relationship. Well, you mean to tell me join a relationship expecting things to happen, expecting for a spouse to cheat on you, expecting this, expecting that? Well, I'm here to maybe to inform you and to maybe say something you might not particularly feed into right away. Okay, if you're not in the right place, the right situation, things can happen. Things can happen. It's just like working in a highly skilled organization. Everything is precise. You have all these instruments, all this equipment, everything. And then if you do anything out of line, complication, something can go wrong. You could blow the place up. You know, a whole lot of things can happen, right? You can make your company or organization lose millions of dollars by one mistake. But anyway, this situation that we're talking about today is a situation where you can make one mistake, just like any other place, any other situation, and that one situation can lead you into a bad place. It can lead you into death, the complications. Uh, you can have all type of things that can happen to you with a mistake. And then again, you can make a mistake, and then there can be forgiveness. Oh yeah, there can be like everything is gonna be all right. Think about it. So we keep things in the proper perspective that, okay, so we try our best to make it work. But sometimes it just doesn't work the way we want it to do. And that's why we come tonight, we're talking about uh, the breakup. The breakup. And we're going to use a couple of examples about the breakup, a couple of situations about breakup and what happened in our breakup. What happened? What's going on? What's the agenda in our breakup? Why are we breaking up? But first, we want to know why we got together. Just like I was talking about divorce court. The judge say, "What brought us to this place? What bring you to this place? Whereas you seeking a separation, you're seeking a divorce. Like, what's going on?" So we try to analyze the situation, but we don't do that as far as analyzing the ins and outs and the principle, but we look at the whole story. We look at the history. We look at the situation that's going on, and then we come up with some type of not say conclusion, but some type of parable that says that, wow, okay, we find out most of the time that there was no love, or either, and what we want to talk about tonight is that with one-sided love. And we're going to do two examples at first. All three examples we're gonna have, they were all three one-sided loves, and we're going to bring it to your attention, okay, if you don't mind. Say that the first example, we had a young lady. She had a roommate. She was, relationship and everything, yada yada yada. Young man, they were close together and everything, and he had a job. She had a good job, and so they were doing all right. Her house, her apartment, however it was, and they were there in that place, that situation. Like so many of us do, so many people do, have a roommate, and just so happened the roommate happened to be your relationship, your boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever, significant others, or however you want to put it. Okay, so now the young man in this situation was cheating on his girlfriend. But it wasn't a serious type of cheating, but any kind of cheating, any type of infidelity is serious. I'm just here to tell you, and we don't here approve of it, but it happens. Okay, so now the lady said she's on her way to a meeting, and the guy say, "Okay, well, I'll see you when you get back." Okay, good. Now she's supposed to be going across town or out of town, something like that, for a very important meeting with her company. But something happened that she turns around and come back to the house. To come back to the house, one of his friends from his job is there, female type, and they all embrace. So now she is devastated. She is hurt. The lady walks into her house to see her boyfriend wrapped up in the arms with a woman that's supposed to be his good friend, his best friend from work. And they were like sisters and brothers, so to speak. So, you know what I mean? That's the lie he told. But in the meantime, he tells this girl at the work that he's getting closer to her and tells her a bunch of stories, a bunch of lies, or however, and leads her on. So now she is emotionally involved in it. The girl that come in that lives there, say her name's says Sarah. Okay, now Sarah is really involved. She's hurt. She's devastated because now her boyfriend, for maybe a couple of years now, has cheated on her. And she, like she said, you keep lying to me. Keep lying to me. You said that this girl is your best friend. She accepts her as a best friend, even though Sarah never met the girl from the work. But the guy always talk about, you know, things at work and everything. He got somebody that he been knowing for a long, long time, and that Sarah accepted. She's well-minded person, right? Strong type of person, motivated type person, but yet and still she have a heart. She cares for this guy. She cares for him real, real bad. So anyway, she catches them together. Now she sees the light. She's open, her eyes have been open, and now she's devastated. So she in turn puts them out. It's a breakup. Breakup. But a year later, Sarah sees this guy. In the meantime, he's like out on the street, lost his job, nowhere to go, no money, and he's out more or less begging, a panhandler. And Sarah walks by him, and she recognizes him. So they talk, and so he was saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry, this and that, and other," and I realized now that I lost the best thing I ever had, this and that, and other. But in the meantime, Sarah, with compassion, and people always say, well, you're supposed to have compassion. And yes, we do. We're supposed to have compassion. We're supposed to help each other, be helpful to one another. But in these situations, here we are, wonderful people, that sometimes your compassion to help somebody that you was once involved with. I mean, not just involved with. See, the guy didn't just come by for a midnight snack or a booty call. He lived there. He was in the house with Sarah. He was there with Sarah, and he was young and strong and da da da, all that good stuff. So now Sarah had an emotion for him because she was devastated enough to really cry by having to put him out because he keep lying to her about, especially about the girl at the work. So now she said, okay, I'm married now. A year later. Now, this is fast for getting into a situation, getting over the trauma of, of a breakup. And that trauma sometimes can lead into longer lasting hurt and longer lasting pain. So therefore, she see this guy and he's telling her this story about things happened in his life, this and that and the other, and how he missed her and how he wished that things never happened, this and that and the other way that he left, and asking her for forgiveness. So she said, yeah, I forgive you, this and that and the other. But she said, now I'm married. That's what I'm saying. She jumped into a situation really fast behind the breakup. And this is why we always say, take your time. Don't just jump right into another situation. So what happened is that she was grieving the loss of her boyfriend. She still grieved the loss of that affair that she had because she was in love with him, but he was more or less not in love with her. She was more or less a convenience for him. Okay? You got food, you have a job, you can bring home a certain amount of money, you can cheat on the side. You got a woman that can give you comfort at the time that you need the comfort, yeah, all that good stuff. But yet and still, he had a roof over his head, get into a nice, comfortable bed, put your feet up on somebody's table, And hey, go ahead on. So that's not love. She loves him in that sense of way of how you say. Now, first we have to do something about love. Love is something like baking a cake. There's a lot of principles in love. A lot of principles in love, right? Being sociably committed, being there to like say an attachment. That's say committed. Yep, faithfulness, all that good stuff. Trust, even loyalty, compassion, empathy, all that good stuff. It's about love. So love is like I said, baking a cake. You just don't have one or two ingredients. You have to have all of the ingredients, but yet and still, even if you have all of the ingredients, there's a way of preparing that cake to go into the oven. You just don't just throw everything into the bowl, whip it once or twice, and say, okay, I'm making a pound cake, and I'm gonna whip it in this mix, and I'm gonna put it in the oven. No, they said that you have to whip it at least so many beats, so many strokes. The old folks used to say 200 strokes or however, and that, the right amount of the right ingredients in it, the right amount. You just don't put any old thing in it. But I got the right ingredients, but you have the right equipment. So with love, there's a tendency to have kindness, caring, um, not only say caring, but respect, that is, consideration for the other person. All these things go into making a love affair. She was, she had most of them. Most of the time we go into a love affair, relationship, we don't have all of the situations. We have most of them or some of them or one or two of them. There's an attachment. Uh, Not only it says there's attachment, but there's a place where it said, I'm looking forward to this agreement, this situation. There's a vow, more or less, in a good relationship or a marriage. There is a vow. But a relationship is similar to a vow. It's like a promise, and a promise is a vow. And you just don't walk away from a promise. But you need two people to know each other, two people to get into each other. So anyway, so now Sarah promised this guy. Now she's been married. She been only left this guy a year, right? So she's married and pregnant. All right. She didn't waste no time, but she looks at this guy, and something in her heart is telling this guy, okay, I'm gonna help you out. Evidently, her husband maybe a little bit the fortunate type person, either both of them working together, however, and she offers this guy a job making good money. So that just tell you right now, she still had emotions for him. And I have here, right here, right now, that when we break up with somebody, pay attention to what's going on with your heart and your life. Pay attention. So therefore, Sarah now is like helping this guy out. But who knows? If her and her husband have a little spout, a little situation going, who's she gonna call? Her ex. And this is why I always pay attention to what's going on with you and your ex when you break up. Then the next situation is similar to that, is that this young lady, she said that she loved this guy. She loved her husband, and they were married for years, children. But she was like a stay-at-home mom. She got comfortable in her marriage because she's situated. She's settled. She's like, whatever happens, is happened because she more or less almost worships her husband. Whatever he says is right, or whatever he says does right, because everything was going good in the relationship. All he was doing was making babies, coming home, you know what I mean? Not really lovey dovey, but she cared so much for him. She was comfortable and how you say respectful into any situation that was happening. So she was relaxed, more or less, okay? But in the meantime, after so long, and they have a young child now, maybe under school, around school age, a little bit less than school age, right? He announced that I found somebody else. And I want you to hold on, think this down, hold on, and and see what's going on. And I don't know what's going on, this and that, the other. Now he's making that excuse, mid-age crisis, however how you want to put it. In those days, nowadays, however, you know what I mean. Getting close to the half mark, get everything. So she may be like early 40s, but in the meantime, she's been comfortable at home. She's not really keeping up with herself as far as, good home, clean, food, yada, 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 all that good stuff. But now she's hurting because he has announced that he got somebody else. And he wants to leave and he wants her to hold on because he wants her to stay there and take care of these kids, right? So it's like, what's going on here? And this is why I said this one-sided love affair. Before you get married, before you get into this involvement in the situation, know who you are, know what's it about, and then the pain of a heartache can be alleviated or reduced once you're prepared for the situation. Once you go through some trials and tribulations, or either know the situation, know your person, know the people that you're involved with. And speaking of knowing the person we're involved with, this next story is that, okay, the lady is a cheater. Oh, yeah. Sometimes our wives or girlfriend, female type, can step out on you. So now the husband approaches his wife one day, you know. So he telling her, how much longer are you going to be doing this? Well, she said, what are you talking about? So he tells her, like, you don't do things like you used to. Whoever you're dealing with in the last 2 months, evidently she's getting closer and closer to this person that she's dealing with. Before, every once in a while, da da da, I'll see you. Can you see me? Can we talk? Da, 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 da. But now it's more or less a comfort thing, more or less an emotional thing, more or less now the attraction becomes a I need you type thing. So she's more or less spending more time with her side than with her husband. Now her husband is laying it on her to saying that, well, whoever this guy is, he likes spices because now you start to using spices in your cooking. You know that I don't eat heavy spices. He said that when we make love, you know that I am more of a caressing type person, but you like want to hurry up and get it over with because like you don't want to be bothered with me. Now he said you even change your hairstyle. You even change your cologne, your perfume this way. See, this is what we're saying now. When you get involved with someone, try to know them, try to find out them. This is why we always say, watch those red flags and then watch the attraction, the body language, know them, study that person, study your spouse. Because even in the scriptures, the spirituality said that know your spouse. When they got together, like Adam and Eve, he knew his wife. See, we jump into a relationship without knowing each other, without even paying attention to some of the things, small details. He was laying it on her so hard that she couldn't do nothing but cry. She had to admit it then because now he's busting her wide up. He said, you've been involved with this guy for over a year. And I just wonder how long it's going to be before you do something or make a move. Because you think I'm asleep, but you're sitting up in the middle of the night with your phone and you're smiling. Ah, see, she thinking that her husband is snoring and sleeping, and he's playing possum on her. So these is what happen sometime when you are in that situation. Get to know each other, know the habits, know the causes, know the value of your spouse, and that's why I always said know before you go. When you start to knowing each other and you start to being involved with each other, then the next thing you know, it's like, ah, see, whatever happens in the dark will come out in the light. Come out in the light. So therefore, now he knows. He knows for sure that she's messing up because now he's putting out everything that she's done because he's now paying attention to her routine. She changed her routine. She changed her habit. She changed a lot of things about what she used to do compared to what she's doing now. So these are the things that we want to bring to your attention to wonderful people that when you're involved with somebody, that one-sided love can hurt you. One-sided love can destroy you because now you love and they don't love you back. They don't love you back as much as you want them to, as much as they should love you, as much as you would like them to love you. Because now, when you are baking a cake and you don't have the right ingredients to the right situation, the right strokes or whatever you have to do, the right portion with the right temperature of the stove, it messes up. The same thing in a relationship. So we get into relationships sometime, and next thing you know, it's like that's why I say watch divorce court, and you find out like these are realities. Yes, how people can try to pull the wool over your eyes. They can try to slim flam you, play you, use you, and then they say, "Oh, we had such a wonderful time when we got started." Sure, pleasure is always wonderful when you first get started. It's a good thing. You know what I mean? But in the meantime, what about the reality of everyday life, everyday storms of life, everyday the value of life, the challenges of life? All these things can come to play in life. So that's why we want to bring these things to you to show you that these things can happen. But now we must, by all means, pay attention, put things down, put it into right perspective, and then ask the right question. No question is off limit in a relationship. You check with your spouse, your mate, however you want to call this person, your future husband, before you really get too deep into the situation. Know where they're coming from. Well, people can fool you. They can fool a lie detector test. Sure, a few, but not everybody. So you stop listening to everybody, the naysayers, the backstabbers, the ones who's supposed to be professional, da da da, and don't know anything, and they lead you because now, oh well, I'm not gonna worry about checking on the person. I'm not gonna ask her their cousin about this guy, how many girls he used to have. You find out this dude was popping everybody in the neighborhood, and everybody in the neighborhood knew about what he was doing because he got 10 kids all over the neighborhood and nobody saying anything. And here you come, it's like, what? So you know what I mean? Because he can lay the lie down to you and make you feel like, hey, you the best thing since sliced bread. You the best thing since Mr. Softy ice cream. Come on, girl. I love you. You okay? Prove it. Love is an action situation, action thing, and it's only in truth. You cannot say love, or be love, or do love in a negative connotation. Anytime you try to hurt somebody and you say you love them, that's not love. Love is a value. Love is not just a pushover, a playover, a cotton candy. Love has a challenge. Love has it, but it bounces back because it covers a multitude of wrongdoings. you could be in love, just like one of these situations. How, okay, like the first one, the guy that he was involved with Sarah. Now he realized his fault. He realized that he messed up by dealing with somebody on the job, and he bring it to the house. Even get out of here. It hurt Sarah's heart. Now she's out there. She realized that she lost somebody, but yet still she would not let this thing beat her down, taking it back right then. But she there to support him. But only thing I'm telling Sarah, watch and stay up attention and let your husband know every little detail. Let your husband know what's going on about you and that guy, so that he now can trust you. He don't have to be worried about you or concerned about you and mess around, and then things can happen. Then when things go wrong in the relationship or something, he can almost like see that things are going in the wrong way. He can intercede, and he can now comfort Sarah. He can now give direction to Sarah, protect her, and then pay attention to the guy and let him know that, look, this is my wife now, bro. You know what I mean? You lose, you lose. That's it. So these are the things we want to bring to you, wonderful people, as we go on this journey on our weekly cast on different subject matters. We want you to continue to watch us, continue to listen to it, and to share this out, spread the word, and go to our website, https semicolon / desire, DESIRE, the letter, the number two, desire to excel, XCEL, the letter excel, NLOVE, no, NLUVE, excel in love. Okay, .com. So therefore, wonderful people, thank you for being with us. And then join our YouTube channel. Subscribe, and share, because so many people out there who says that I love my wife, I love my girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever friend, and then things that happen. Well, why do these things happen? The side effect, the interference, all these things come to play when you're not really on top of your game, on top of the situation. And then it doesn't have to be all this hard work, even. So many times we let things bother us, uh, control us, distract us, and destroy us. And all we have to do is like avoid it. Yes, avoid it. So with that one, people, thank you, for being with us. And thank you, Nikki, for joining us again today. Appreciate it. And others that come in, thank you, bless you. And like I say, share this out, let somebody know, and so they can listen to this, because these are just 3 examples of what can happen. Because out of the 3 examples that we gave tonight, there are millions of others who have suffered the same type of a situation, and they can almost identify with these stories. And that's what we continue to do, so they can bring some clarity, bring some sincerity, and bring some love, true love, to a relationship, so that we don't have to go through a lot of divorces and a lot of hurts and a lot of pain over and over and over again. So with that in mind, wonderful people, thank you, bless you, and then see you. Bye now. Ah, amen. Well, like I said, that's why we call them red flags. And that's why we have to pay attention to those red flags. So with that in mind, take care. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And bless you, Nikki. Bring some friends with you next time, okay? All right, take care now.